Good morning. Day 27 of the lockdown in New Zealand. I'm Bacon Steve. I've been doing a daily vlog of what life's like as a small bacon producer, working through this pandemic, working through the state of emergency in New Zealand. The news is that we drop down a level next Tuesday. I'm sure you're all aware of that, but for my overseas viewers, we've been on what's called level 4, which is full lockdown now for 4 weeks. It'll be 4 weeks in a couple of days, and they've announced yesterday that Tuesday next week, we go down to level 3, which is basically the same as level 4, but with takeaway food. We weren't allowed food deliveries during the first 4 weeks, takeaways, so there'll be drive-through options and delivery options from next week. The only other difference is that certain construction work can recommence, and some of the major building projects, the roads and all that sort of stuff, forestry and building construction, will recommence next week as well. A lot of restaurants are trying to be very creative. They have to have contactless sales. How they're going to do that, I don't know, but there's various apps appearing. You might be even able to order a coffee. Barista coffee, something I've not had for 4 weeks now. So it's all changing. It's Tuesday today, and it's the 21st of April. I'm a little bit slow getting going today because I've got there's nothing I can do really until just after lunch. That's the earliest I can get the bacon out of its resting place, where it's been resting since last week, covered in its cure, the dry cure. This is making bacon the old-fashioned way. All bacon these days is made by just simply injecting the meat with water and sodium nitrate, preservative 250, and that cures it overnight, and it's ready for slicing the next day. So it's a super quick, plus with all the water going in it, it increases the weight volume. So when you get your 200 grams, 300 grams or whatever of that bacon off the shelf at the supermarket, and you cook it, you'll see water coming out, and you'll see incredible shrinkage. Sometimes as much as 60-70% shrinkage. Now all bacon shrinks a little bit, even mine shrinks a little bit, because it's not completely dried out, there's still moisture in it. So just like cooking any meat, you'll get a little bit of shrinkage. I estimate that my streaky bacon, because it's a lot fattier, you get very, very less shrinkage, probably about 10%, maybe 15%. The loin bacon, which has a larger, what they call in the trade, a muscle, the meat, you might get 20% shrinkage, depending on how big the piece is and how much moisture is still left in it. Something to think about when you're next at the supermarket and you see that really cheap bacon on the shelf, really cheap, and it so for instance, it might be half the price of my bacon, but when you get it home and it shrinks 60%, so you're losing more than half of what you originally purchased, versus my bacon, which you might lose 20%, a fifth of the weight that you originally purchased. Suddenly that price difference gets a little bit lower, and in some cases can be just about equal. But sometimes you just look at the special, don't you? The price. We all do that. So yeah, so today I'll be going down about lunchtime and I'll start washing off the rub and letting it dry out a little bit further and then get it into the smoker tonight. I won't film all that because it's really tricky with a camera. I need both hands, getting the camera set up, washing all the rub with a high pressure hose and my hands gets all sprays all over the camera and everything, so and I don't want to give away all the secrets. I will try and film some of the smoker, because there's nothing like when it's been smoking with that Manuka for 3.5 hours when you first open the door to the smoker. Oh, the smell of smoky bacon. Some people prefer, Americans really prefer heavily smoked bacon and lots of sweetness in it. They love their maple syrups and their sugars. So, I mean, it tastes fabulous, don't get me wrong. American bacon's incredible, and but it's packed full of sugars, which gives you that flavour. Really heavily smoked. They use a lot of hickory over there and other timbers, but yeah, very different to mine. I like to lightly smoke it. I like to get the full flavour of the bacon, and that's what all my customers say. It's like they actually taste the bacon. It's the real natural flavour. And there are a few herbs in there like rosemary and sage. They're like nature's preservatives. And there's a pinch of pepper, pinch of coriander. Very little. It's 90% sea salt, organic sea salt. I don't know how you get inorganic sea salt. Surely it's also, but anyway, and it's from Marlborough. It's local sea salt, no cheap imported rubbish. And the rosemary and sage makes up about 8%, 9%, and then there's just about 1% of a few of the little bit of herbs just added in there for flavour. So it was a quick walk because it's, look at the weather, it's drizzly. We're up in the clouds today. Can you see? You get this up here on Govan Wilson. I think we're 440 metres above sea level. They call us Music Mountain. I'm sure there's a proper mouldy name for it. I'll have to look at that one day. But we're often get days like this when the pressure's very low. We're actually in the cloud. But it's gorgeous. Hear the birds? Oh, that's a doggy, I think. Don't know. Anyway, back at my place. I'll just show you what my place is called. In Maori. Korahi. You see that? Korahi. Which translates to bird song. And there's nothing like this place in spring. It's incredible. You know, all the native birds all over the place. I mean, they're here all the time, but springtime you get the massive influx of tuis doing their courtships, and all the other species doing their courtships too, and that's fascinating. It's where the flax bushes come in really handy, because they love the flax bush, or the flowery, you know, I don't know what you call those stems where the flowers are. But anyway, that's the intro done. I'll go and have another cup of coffee and some breakfast, and I'll see you all later. Catch ya. Hi guys, do you like the hat? Just about to here. Well, not much hair left on there anyway, but stop it falling out into the bacon. Gonna wear one of these. Just about to jump in and start cutting and packing what I've got left, which is 4 measly loins. That'll give me about 38 to 42 packets of loin bacon, so I can get a delivery over to the Foursquare across the road, the little mini supermarket in the village. And I've already got half the bacon in the smoker up the road, and that'll be in now for 3.5 hours. Go and get that out about 4 o'clock, and then hang it up to dry even further in the chiller. So I'm not going to be doing all the cutting and packing of this batch until Thursday. So I've got quite a, that's going to be a hell of a rush on Thursday and Friday. I've got to try and knock off about 300 or 400 packets. So anyway, better get on with it. Oh, just interestingly, the fuel prices are going to go plummeting. For the first time in the history of oil, the OPEC countries, Russia and America, have got so much oil because no one's using it. There's no air travel. There's no one's using the cars much. They've the big tanks that they keep it in are all full, so they're getting rid of it now. They're getting just waving to the neighbour, Matakana coffee roasters. He's off in his car somewhere. They're working next door, can hear the music pumping. But yeah, the price of the futures for oil has gone negative. That doesn't really affect us, that's just the speculation price, you know, but it's actually gone below zero as they try and get rid of some of this oil to create some space. There's no space left to store anymore. So even though they've cut production by 10 million barrels a day, we're still not using enough. So expect to see some huge drops in the petrol price at the pump. I know Zed and Caltex have already had 2 big drops this week already, so yeah, can't wait to go and fill up the van when I go and do my deliveries, and that'll make it more cost effective, won't it? That'll improve the margin just a tiny bit. Anyway, better get on with it. Catch you later.